Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm here in my kitchen with my fat behind, getting my dinner. You guys know that I started last week doing keto, and because I hit 271. Doctor basically said every pound that you have extra is like 4 pounds on your knees. So if you lose 10 pounds, it's like taking 40 pounds of pressure off. Not to mention the blood pressure and everything else. So what I have been doing thus far with this keto diet, which is kind of cool because you can eat lots of rich foods. You just can't have carbohydrates or sugars. And so you guys are literally living this with me. So I'm actually having some crab cakes. I'm fortunate because my brother, who's actually headed to Alaska, and prayers for everybody in Alaska right now after the earthquakes, lives on the eastern shore on the water. So he literally goes out crabbing every day during the season. And he takes all these crabs to my mother's house. My mother picks out the crab meat. So it literally does not get any fresher than this. So we're actually going to have crab cakes and kind of a sour, like sweet and sour coleslaw, but can't really have sweet. So, well, without using artificial. So at least we got crab cakes and coleslaw. And what's amazing is today I have walked over 10,000 steps. My wife actually has to go to New Orleans tomorrow to work with Demario Davis. I really wanted to go, but couldn't quite do that. So I need to spend the day here because next weekend I will be in Dallas, and that's going to be off the chain. So I can't wait. But anyway, I'm rambling, so let me stop. Zeke Elliott is getting fined $13,300 and some odd dollars. I don't know how they come up with these numbers because it's not even around. Just say 14,000. Okay. I mean, I don't understand why you got to come up with this, rounded off number and stuff. But what actually would have been cool is if the NFL actually fined him $21,000 and then immediately donated it to the American Red Cross. Excuse me. Salvation Army. Now, the thing I've got to actually ask now is, you remember in the game when the Saints got the fumble on the 42-yard line and dude went over? Dropped his $24 in the bucket and proceeded that the Saints got all the way down there, fourth down on the 2-yard line, and didn't get in. Maybe that was karma. Maybe? Okay. Here's the interesting thing. And I probably shouldn't say this, but it's kind of amazing that they fine you for charity, and somehow they messed up on Kareem Hunt. Yeah. And I know people who are non-Dallas Cowboy fans right now will say, you're just a crybaby. Always whining, Cowboy fans. But when I think about a year-long, $5 million investigation, of Zeke, and somehow they missed that one, kind of makes you go, So this is basically red cabbage, some onions, and of course, you guys know I love hot, spicy foods. Some jalapeno peppers, and some carrots. And because of this diet, you got to get lots of fats. So that means you got to eat a lot of cheese, you got to get a lot of heavy creams, butter, all of that jazz. And it's something like, you want like 25% protein so you can have any kind of meat you want. You got to get your vegetables in. And you got to get lots of fats. And supposedly, this will change your metabolism to burn fat as opposed to carbohydrates. What they say is, and actually now I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you've had like fresh meat that's been, raised locally as opposed to when you just go to the grocery store. My friend Alex actually has a farm that's up in Culpeper, and he's got about 50, 60 cows. And there's two ways of getting the cows ready for butchering. One is just let them go out in the fields and eat grass. What happens to the meat is it's very, very lean. Or you end up fattening them up by having them eat a lot of grains. When they eat grains, they get fatty. And that gives you more flavorful beef, because you got to have some fat for flavorful beef. But it's because they're eating all of the grains. So the grains make the cows fat. So if the cow gets fat from eating wheat, what do you think happens with us? We get fat from eating it too. So there you have it. When you eat all the grains, so bread, crackers, cookies, sugar, all that stuff was not originally supposedly meant for us. It's not what we originally ate, 1,000 years ago or so. Hence, you didn't see a lot of cavemen that were fat. So this is kind of like getting back to being a hunter and gatherer and stuff. So tomorrow I'm going to weigh myself and see where we go. I started out 271.5, basically about 2 pounds lighter than the heaviest I've ever been. But I got to get that weight off. So hopefully you'll start seeing a slimmer, trimmer me, and hopefully it'll help with my knee and stuff, because I got to keep that sucker going for the next 10 years before they do the knee joint replacement. So it's kind of funny. When you see all these calls, or lack thereof calls, against the Cowboys. A little green hot sauce. We rarely get holding calls on the other team. Be right back with you guys. I'm trying to find my celery seed. We rarely get holding calls in our favor. It seems like it goes games, and last year it was 8 games between holding calls. 8 games. And what's amazing, Randy Gregory has literally been cussed out by a lot of the fans. Face mask. But if you watch that play, dude is literally wrapped around his body holding him. He is being held, because if he hasn't been held, I'm going to tell you, he would have had a sack, a clean sack. But it's the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys never get the calls. Instead, it goes the other way. What should have happened should have been offsetting penalties. But again, we're Cowboys. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. I needed a bigger bowl. I love cooking. I actually love cooking for others. It's kind of a labor of love and creating. You take basic ingredients and turn it into something else. And it's kind of nice that tomorrow we can just relax. We don't have to be worried about anything. Everything's our, how do you say it in Jamaican? RE. Okay, I probably screwed that up. God, this would be perfect with just a little spoonful of sugar. Although I can use the fake ones, but I don't like those. Not bad. Still use a little sugar. All right. So that's what I got for you guys today. Monday night, we have, of course, the Redskins versus the Eagles in the toilet bowl. The winner survives for another week. The loser, well, they start getting caught in a numbers game. You know what I really would love to see? You guys might remember in the beginning of the season when I was talking about the Eagles repeating that they probably wouldn't in my early season predictions. Yeah. All those Eagle trolls that told me I'm an idiot, I'm just a hater, I don't know anything about football. Yeah. Don't see those guys too much anymore, do we? Gotta love a hater. All right. Not quite hot enough. All right, so let me give you guys a closer look at what we got here. And hopefully this will work. Let's see. looks kind of bright white. I like to use cast iron. I like to use cast iron pans and stuff because it's old school. It doesn't flake off like the non-stick. And believe it or not, you know those non-stick pans that we've been using forever? You know how they start flaking and the stuff comes off of it? Turns out that's actually chemicals that aren't good for you. Cancer-causing chemicals. In fact, the government knew about that back in like 2007 or so. They actually said, we're going to ban those. But you can keep selling them until 2013. Yeah. So, there's that. We always wonder, why do we got cancer? Well, that might be one of the reasons. Could have let them stick there just a little bit longer, but that's what we got for dinner. Coleslaw and crab cakes. So as always, guys, I want to thank you all. Oh, no bread, of course. No bread, of course. But hey, got to do what you got to do if you want to live a long life. I'm Mark Holmes, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, I couldn't do this. I'll see you guys soon.